Isn't this beautiful? Another year, another school year of new students to teach them the philosophies of Hippocrates, Plato, Pythagoras, and all the other greats.
They learned all they needed to know about Pythagoras in high school trigonometry.
Not everybody took trigonometry.
Then they belong in remedial math.
Remedial math teaches them inside the box. We're talking about philosophy that teaches them outside the box.
We call that going off on a tangent.
Good pun, but narrow-minded view.
Narrow-minded only means someone who cuts through the nonsense and gets right to the relevant facts.
So you're saying the insights of Aristotle, Hippocrates, Plato, and Pythagoras, and other greats are not nonsense?
Yeah, but it won't help when building a bridge or a building or anything else of meaning.
Teaching isn't everything about building a bridge. There's more to life than building things.
What teaching should be what's been proven or disproven empirically.
For a later time. I have to go. Good morning, freshmen and women of this great department. I'm your philosophy teacher, Mr. Griffins. Philosophers in the making, it's a great honor and privilege to the fact that we're teaching you students and that you're interested in philosophy of Aristotle, Socrates, Pythagoras, Hippocrates. You know, having said that, in all my years on earth, I've dreamt, taught, slept, woken with and ate philosophy. Now I'm living it. I sincerely do hope that you could all live up to the expectations. However, in my opinion, you're nothing but second to nothing shallow thinkers. But I hope to enhance or change your way of thinking, if you're willing. I have been an avid reader of the arts, if you will, the works of the great philosophers. For many years, I mentioned that earlier. Sorry for my commanding tone. Your generation is nothing but a waste. You're stereotyping your thinking. You had a how can I say it, a better wake-up call, or you should be waking up out of your slumber in order to take this all in. It's high school complacency. Please forgive me for my manners. This is the way I sound. This is the way I talk. This is the way I teach. This is the way I speak. I don't mean to degrade you in any way, fashion, or form, but I feel that if you could understand, and I want to embed this into your minds, and if you leave here with just a little knowledge. Back to what I said. My business is to teach you Philosophy 101. However, looking at this class, not more than 14 of you are here, but I'll do my best, and I hope you'll take heed to what I say. Considering that this is a small class, probably not more than 14, if you are going to drop out, make sure it's soon. It looks like people are, and I'm hoping we don't lose many more. I'm sure a few of you are concerned about me, but I don't want to see you as babies. However, you act like overgrown babies, but you're all grown-ups. Well, what I want you to know is I'll go by Mr. Charles Griffins, and I'll address you by your surname. I expect professionalism, courtesy, respect to each other and to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, or students, if you will, let me ask you, what is philosophy? Don't give me an answer yet. Wait till I point my finger at you, and then I expect an answer from you. What is philosophy? Mr. Clay.
My name is Charles Clay. The reason why I decided to enroll in philosophy is commonsensical to help me think outside of the box.
That's thoughtful of you. I want to believe that your panache stems from the fact that, that you and I are namesakes. And that for all of you to be inspired by his action. But, Charles, don't let this go to your head. Next one, Mr. Gonzalez.
I'm Calvin Gonzalez. Studying philosophy to me is to bring out the best of my capabilities through engaged critical thinking.
Wow. I think you read that somewhere. I don't want your quick response.
My name is Maria Chavez. Philosophy as my course of study has been predicted on investigating the dynamics of feminism, homosexuality, and bestiality.
You know, I think this is beyond me. No, wait. Why do I say such a statement? You know, anything that comes into my home has to be attended to. And you know something? I'm going to attend it. I'm going to go ahead and take care of you.
My name is Adam Fisher. To me, philosophy barbs the hairs of, I guess you would say, deception, and puts on almost a cap of logic to prevent my bald hair of neutrality from the intense sun heat, I guess you'd call it, of global inconveniences.
Mr. Fisher, may I ask, where did you get that from? I think that was just too articulate. Did you just think of that?
I'm Gary White. Philosophy is my course of study because it asserts the gap between reason and experience.
Let me put what you said rightly, Gary. Philosophy, unequivocally, states the gap between rationalism, which is reason, and empiricism, which is experience.
I am Grace Peters. Philosophy gives me a record of events in world history in the form of knowledge obtained from reason and experience.
I'm Catherine Gonzalez. Philosophy tells me the relationship between discipline and values.
My name is Helen Montgomery. Philosophy opens the truth path to motherhood.
Dan Williams is my name. Studying philosophy makes me view the world from a different perspective, thereby having different values that's contrary to what people are familiar with.
I am Kobe Banks. Philosophy, in my reason, shows me the path between good and evil and their intersection, theoretically and perhaps in actuality.
My name is John G. Holmes, Jr. Philosophy unveils comfort in the midst of tide of unfavorable conditions.
I'm going to ask you yet another question. Is philosophy a science?
Philosophy is a study addressing issues affecting the society through logic and experience.
Philosophy is the science investigating into the truths concerning the entirety of existence.
Maria, you failed to listen to my instruction. Obedience is worth more than intelligence.
I'm sorry.
To me, philosophy deals with the study of nature.
While philosophy is a science that plunges itself into the ocean of inquiry, as regards all foundations of universal truths.
Philosophy is invented by the sacred truth to shape human beings' thought process.
Philosophy is the knowledge that distinguishes the elite from the commoner.
Philosophy studies the contradictions between gender, equality, inequality, and duality.
Philosophy is the intent of the relationship between space and time.
Philosophy is an inquiry into the discrepancies of individualism, humanism, in other words, with ism, as suffix in relation to the right order of existence and creation.
Philosophy is the background behind universal truth.
Okay, class, take a syllabus on what we studied today, and we'll go ahead and pick this up 2 days from now. If you need to get a hold of me, my email's on there, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Adam.
Mr. Griffiths.
Well, fancy seeing you here.
Likewise.
Hey, listen, are you thinking about taking any more philosophy courses this semester?
No, I'm not entirely sure. I've been thinking about going towards arts or performance theater kind of deal.
Oh, really? Good. It's nice to see that you made up a mind on your major.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny that you say that because
Why is it?
you know, you're like the only one of your generation who seems to have something positive to say about my decision. I appreciate that.
Your parents don't approve?
You could say that. My father had some colorful words. My mother was shrill, to say the least.
Well, my parents behaved the same way. They looked at as a philosopher as being an educated bum.
I don't know, man. I tried to explain to them that in the front of the camera is just another piece of a humongous industry.
I tried explaining it to my parents too, trying to tell them that understanding about life is more important than how to do a job.
Did they ever take the pressure off of you for a major that they approve of?
Never. While I was studying my master's, my parents would often point out to me how well my brother was doing and what a success, what a great job my sister had.
I'm sure they don't pester you now anymore, right?
No, now that I've got this teaching job.
So good paying full-time employment is what it takes to quiet the parental criticisms? Is that what you're saying?
It quiets the frontal assaults. My parents are still boastful about my siblings' successes. My brother and what he's accomplished, and my sister with her success of her job. Did you choose theater for the money?
No, I didn't choose theater for the money. It's about communication. Communication is what brings the world together. It's what unifies people. And I want to be a part of it, but I just can't tell my parents.
You think your parents would accuse you of having a grandiose opinion of yourself?
Yeah, I would. But, I see it all different, Mr. Griffins. I see other options and other ways out. Just gotta figure it out.
Hope so.
Yeah.
I have 50 students from my Philosophy 201 class. Students from 15 countries.
Yeah, any from 101?
I still have the students that stayed till the end.
I have 36 students, 6 Americans, and the rest are equally divided between Indians and Middle Easterners.
You have something against foreign students?
No. I have something against American students wasting their money on useless classes.
I don't understand. Someone of your age and your intelligence can't understand that philosophy is important to teach the kids.
You can't get a job with it unless you get a master's, and then the only job you can get is teaching philosophy.
But philosophy makes the students more well-rounded.
I've never heard of an employer who cared whether or not a potential employee was well-rounded.
Oh, you got to understand, it'll help them understand life. It'll nourish their souls. It's something more than a paycheck.
College is an investment. Taking our class costs $1,262.72. And they can't get a job with it.
It'll give them so much more. You got to understand. Think outside of the box.
Considering a tree falls in the woods, and there's no one around to hear it, does it make a noise, or did it just waste its time?
Good day. Good day.
It makes a noise, no matter which philosopher is around to hear it.
Well, I'm very pleased. I think the class did a great job on this first test. The essays covered a wide range of thought, but there's one essay in particular I would like to share with the class. Adam, would you kindly share what you presented about your essay regarding Socrates?
Well, I did mention his quote about the youth.
While I don't necessarily agree with you, please go on.
Well, to paraphrase, youth are frivolous and reckless. He claims when he was young, they were discreet, I guess you'd say, and represented their elders. This could be viewed as an argument to keep everything the same. But if one believes it's right to follow their elders, are they likely to do more than follow what they should have been taught? Or should I go on?
What's the matter, honey?
One of my students' essays. Somehow it touched me. I've been repeating what the great philosophers have been writing to their students all these years.
Yeah, but you're a professor. That's what professors do.
It should be my own philosophies, though.
Do you want to write a book?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
Do you want to write?
That's what I said.
Then write. Do it.
Yes, you're right.
Hey, Mr. Griffiths.
Mr. Griffins. Mr. Griffins.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Gonzalez.
How are you?
Good. Nice to see all of you here. I know you were stuck on a question earlier that I should answer, but I was wondering if I could ask you something that's for my book. I just thought I'd maybe record this. If you could tell me, what do you think about philosophy in your everyday life? If you don't mind telling me that might help us out. Let's start with you, Ms. Gonzalez.
Well, I'm reading the book that you assigned, so that's my everyday philosophy.
That's a good beginning. All right. And how about you, Mrs. Chavez?
Just researching and understanding, that's my kind of philosophy.
Okay. All right, I can get that. Okay. Mr. Gonzalez, what about you?
Well, I'm in a study group developing a new philosophy.
Fantastic. Wonderful. You know, let me ask you something. Maybe one more question, if you don't mind. Do you think that philosophy is a part of science? Are they related? Think about it. Something to think about. I would argue that philosophy is at least as important as the sciences.
Philosophy adds nothing to the world's knowledge empirically.
The very meaning of philosophy is the love of wisdom.
Look, you're not talking to one of your freshmen here. If it can't be proven, it's just a bunch of words someone's rehashing from something some old Greek said.
It's important for the people to know the wisdom of the ages.
It's important for the students to learn what can make them prosperous.
Oh, we're not at some trade school.
The students want to make sure that after investing their money, their hard-earned time, money, and efforts, that they get a good return on their investment.
So we're going to rob the students of that education. I believe we should give them something more. I believe we should give them something that's priceless.
Priceless, like a white elephant.
What do you mean?
Oh, the proverbial white elephant, where you're giving them something they can't eat or sell.
Pearls before wine. Good day. I've got to go. Okay, class. For your term paper, I want you to compare and contrast two pivotal philosophers who lived during the same time. List the philosophies they were associated with and how they changed the world of thinking. I want you to take on your assignment in a way I've always taught you. Question everything. If the assignment is to me a week before the due date, you'll receive extra credit if the standard is followed thoroughly.
Why was classism used for science? What advancements were made in philosophy? What's the difference between Marxism and communism? Was systematic racism used to eventually push a certain manifesto? How is metaphysics regarded as a science? What advancements were made in philosophy? How was rationalism, logic, and knowledge used to tie the term metaphysics into philosophy? In relation to what science is, metaphysics is the study of the priority of reality, where science is a broad term to describe different areas of nature studies. The term rationalism was centered around the mathematics and everything that could be seen with a logical perspective, you would say. For example, I pull out my camera to take a photo, I stop, I see there is a reflection in the background. I move a few calculated steps to the left or the right to hide the reflection's perspective. Metaphysics and logic are the core roots of the knowledge humans have on how the world works and what we think of it. These founding ideas lead to an enlightened science called rationalism. It seems as if the term logic in itself could explain the rationalism definition, hence, they are not the same. Logic seems to be the initial concept of the thinking science and has flaws and strict boundaries. The rationalism concept seems to have helped formulate Sir Isaac Newton's scientific method, which is still used as a way to prove a scientific point to this day. Just like following philosophers felt like they needed to test logic's fundamentals, Newton's space and matter calculations were often tested by others, even Immanuel Kant. Immanuel Kant's take on idealism was a way for him to study on a variety of topics and make breakthroughs. Other philosophers around that time, like David Hume, helped with research through publications. Their minds expanded studies for free thinkers to shape modern technology as we know it, that are either proving or disproving laws today.
What's up, y'all? What y'all up in here getting active to?
Just
Color, girl, what? Okay, we can all color.
we sure can.
We sure can. Come on, let's come. Girl, I know that's right. Me. Let's color in. What? Let me see.
Immanuel Kant believed in all beings are tied within the same moral law. He also stated his studies after learning theology, as did Charles Darwin. G.W.F. Hegel, German philosopher, was where Marx pulled most of his early inspiration from. Their German school of thought focuses on critique and irony, where their writing is a little more creative and constricted. Marx neglects all forms of philosophy since they are started in a realm of ideology. He also did not submit to any political party. Readers felt since he didn't deliver a sensible approach in his writing, it was really up for critique.
Oh, that's what I'm finna cover too, since y'all wanna be quiet and all that. So girl, what's your favorite color is? Girl, Lonnie, let's go. She's not paying attention to us, no. Nobody want to be here anyway. Girl, bye. Okay, love you though.
Did the publication of the Communist Manifesto, co-written by Marx, lead to the United States Emancipation Proclamation? In January 1st, foundational black American slaves were freed. Reading was only brought to foundational black Americans with the white man's burden ideology. European descents eventually believed they needed to advance all the unintelligent humans. These were either Native American tribes that weren't completely wiped out or black slaves trying to live on plantations in America. Means of production were done through trading goods. There wasn't a world war yet. America hadn't even had a civil war yet. Social classes were still in hierarchies, where the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. If socialism and communism are applied to govern without status quo being an option, there is a slower transition to radical deception. After all, the rich want to stay rich. If they can keep the rich rich and the poor poor, they will do that without regard. Now let's look at the three classes of communism: low class, socialism, middle class, and capitalism, upper class, where the two bottom classes seem to be interchangeable. If everybody is usually happy in the middle class, where's the capitalism and communist at? I bring race and classes into my opening questions, and I want to stand by it. In philosophy, I feel there isn't really race, but there is racism. Not the status quo, I mean the propaganda. The propaganda that will make yourself believe whatever you want to believe. If there was just an enlightened period and there was a new way of living, America would want the information translated. Not every person was literate, as you know. Books were hidden. And this seems to be making a truth stand out 15 years later. If just these two can write all this together, just think what we can all do together. Immanuel Kant studied theology and Latin in his early years, the first race primarily in Europe. With his breakthroughs in idealism and skepticism, like reason and morality, Kant learned Hebrew, so he was further educated in religion, where most of his empiricism views came from. The scholar from Königsberg taught for a very long time at the school, taking on critiques after the tackling of Sir Isaac Newton's laws of physics. Really deep into science, an idea was formulated to a theory about aerial gases, how they formed galaxies, and how they could be extensions of realms or even dimensions. Despite being labeled a poor mathematician, his work regarded him as one of the most founding fathers of modern philosophy. For example, expanding on A and B logic, your first thought is A and your second thought is B. You can say B first, but what is the reason? Senses alone will take you there. At a point, Kant planned to extinct the rationalist approach, but he just didn't know what to call it, really. If humanity works for a common good, the notion is good. If the implications are bad, then the message is negative. The early times of the world was predicted to be flat. It was proven otherwise. Geographers would be taking notes every step of the way. Areas by landmass fear the tidal issue from our moon's gravity, while landowners in the middle fear the earth crumbling. Other areas of applied science helped forefront. Capitalists owned many houses and lived their life ahead of the curve. The leaders stopped being at areas of war, but after battle would make a speech, and a political satire could open the door to a way of speculation. Reasoning experiences guide people who have not read something and could lack hope. Unfortunately, in the case of classes, the pages keep rolling, with the standard of Marx being held a political influencer. The class struggles case-by-case basis can be seen in, as we consider them all, capitalist societies. The fear was the lack of intellect could lead to a communist society, where the back and forth sides argue until there's an oppressor. There was a great world war as we know it. To have leaders that fought lead the world into a second world war and then the Cold War. The wars have always defined the dominance of other classes, and books being withheld led to a blackball list for Americans. It would be wise to understand the plans of an oppressed man feeling free. Maybe starting a new branch of study or finding the right co-writer or study partner. Rough times in their lives could be seen in different views. Inferior minds that weren't intelligent were critics, spectators, expressionless, test subjects, bloated out of history, handled a job, or used for wars. Since there were breakthroughs on the socialist standpoint, Marx was feeling without money. Kant studied other applied thinkers and kept a formal job. Trading can only get you so far. It appears Marx's long travels led him to America. Kant's study on David Hume and other great notable thinkers led to the reflective publications in the state of Germany. Their span doesn't span around the same time. The difference between ethics in Germany before the world wars differentiates over time.
Hey, can you figure out why Karl Marx is not mentioned on this first page?
The difference with political science and government is seen through a platform, media and documents, and without it. It couldn't get established to the advances we have today. From government to parliament or FBI to CIA, there are two sides. There are always two sides, at least. The life philosophy within these two time periods are held closer within publications. Today, philosophy's purpose seems to start at the beginning of human intellect, to understand any part of it. Until then, it's just scientific words with meaning, bridging the gap between meaning and purpose. Kant and Marx being defined in one particular state of reasoning is a stretch. Although due to publications of these philosophers, the world can look back and find a balance of opinion.
The reason Marx isn't on the front cover of the page is because he started Marxism. Can I see this real quick?
Before wealth, they wanted to educate. They seemed to be around the same social classes. Also, their work held Germany as one of the greatest literary states. Marx seemed to have suffered a huge issue with national and regional spectators and critics by creating Marxism. This where two could be paired as working on too many philosophies. Calling certain humans unintelligent and creating your own philosophy stigmatized Marx. The political construct eventually created the first ways to view your ideas on a broad screen, that being mass media. Documentaries now go into every angle of science if they choose to. For example, if a written has gaps in philosophy origins, but waters it down well enough to be understood of intellect and classes, would it still need a rewrite? The question being on the reader, will they accept such or move it to the side? Where if there is a cause and effect, knowledge is tested. Now, rules are broken. Russia adopted most of what is overlooked from early Germany. If racism existed until philosophy, but the choice of racism isn't philosophy. It's a way of handling an issue and a certain way of life. It appears that, yes, an advancement through relation and reasoning in the U.S. Emancipation Proclamation was incoordinate to traded publications, stating U.S. or other countries in capitalism will lead to their downfall and become an eventual communist or socialist country. Fear of the Industrial Revolution and machines replacing the workforce, that we will all eventually be doing the same job. There isn't much besides white supremacy which this all boils down to. And all white supremacy boils down to is a fear of genetic annihilation, aka extinction. Without enough knowledge comes reason without understanding or guidance, capitalist and socialist practical lures.
Adam Fisher seemed to be the only student that has turned in his term paper, and it is a month early. I will use this essay as an example on what I want you to turn in. Remember, School of Thought. EDGE.
Are you gonna check out that book?
I'm just getting some ideas for Griffin's paper.
I need to see it real quick.
It's crazy how Adam comes up with an idea that half the class run with it.
The EDGE School of Thought opens the door to Griffin's School of Thought.
Empowerment, development, and general ethics.
Rest enough for the individual man. Too much, too soon. Conquest beyond conquest. First, this little planet, all of its ways and winds, and then to its laws of mind and matter that restrain him. And then out into the planets about him, and at last, out across the stars immensely. Again, my name is Adam Fisher, and for my next performance, is there any better world than the one this used to be? I rebel against this progress. Tell me, what has this progress, world civilization done for us? Machines and marvels. They've built these great cities of theirs, yes. They've prolonged life, yes. They've conquered nature, they say. And made a great white world. Is it any jollier than the world it used to be in the good old days? When life was short and hot and merry and the devil took the hindmost?
What part are you going for?
So I haven't decided what part I want to play yet.
I'm no actor, but play the part that you like the most.
Yeah, I would like to take a theater arts course sometime. Got so many courses now, I just don't want to overload it, you know.
What class would you jump if you had to?
Philosophy 201, actually.
Are you taking the same professor?
Griffin's.
That's the same guy, right?
Thought I'd give him a second chance, why not?
Masochist strike 2.
I wouldn't call it a masochist streak, I just want to see how much I could take.
I think you're going to drop it.
If he's still regurgitating dead Greeks, I'm just going to drop out at this point.
Hello, please take a seat.
I must confess, School of Thought is the only reason why we had to like essays. We didn't plagiarize.
Well, I guess it's up to the professor, which happens to be me, to decide that. I wish to also come clean. First of all, I'd like to ask every student in here that relates Karl Marx to Immanuel Kant as philosophers.
Are we really doing the work right?
Think about it. There were other great thinkers alive when he was as well. David Hume would have been fortified. This isn't political science. I won't grieve you and take too much of your time. I understand the school of thought excuse could have stemmed from Adam Fisher turning in a sample essay a month before it was even due.
I can't speak for any other's development, but I assure you, we did correlate ideas, but I did not cheat. I don't know if I have to redo my essay.
Okay. Well, Helen, what do I owe this August visit?
I'm just presenting this essay to you.
Thank you, Helen. I really appreciate this.
I plan on taking more philosophy next semester, and then when I'm done with it, get my master's in it as well.
Well, one of my students wants to go on and get a master's in philosophy. You don't know how happy this makes me.
Your teaching is way above other teachers.
I'm flattered that you think so highly of me. I would really be happy that you're in my class, and with your advanced knowledge, I think you could help other students. Is there something else?
Adam Fisher's taking your 201 class?
Yes, he is. Why do you ask?
It's not a question. He said he registered.
Is there a problem with that?
I talked to him. From the way he spoke, he sounds like he plans to challenge you more than he did in 101.
I've been teaching for many years. It's good to see that a student thinks he could try to stump the professor. I sense that you want to teach philosophy someday. You know, I think this will be a good experience for you to teach you how to handle such students like this and teach philosophy.
German idealist philosophy is a staple on social and political existence. The revered works on rationalism and relatable empiricism inspired the likes of Immanuel Kant and Karl Marx. So, I have to prove material catalysts with just these two great thinkers before the next semester.
Well, first and foremost, I would like to welcome you all to the first lecture of the semester. Without taking any head counts, the seats are full this year. And particularly when I teach Introduction to Philosophy, otherwise known as Phil 101. By the way, you may want to ask, what is School of Thought? Simply, School of Thought is fellowship to the rationals behind teachings or doctrines of the individual concerning life, death, humanity, in relation to dealings with living and non-living entities at the first, second, third of the seventh dimension.
Sir, all due respect, I must say that you've kind of pissed me off with your style of lecture. Do you know that you've defeated my reasoning for even studying this course? Like, right from the start, out of my freshman year, you made me hate philosophy, truly. And I don't think I can even cope with you or even cope with this, quite frankly, any longer.
Just give me a minute, let me share this with you. The reason philosophy is such a unique course.
Well, Professor, if you aren't ready to adjust your teaching style, then, and again, with all due respect, perhaps you should get lost with your so-called knowledge. I mean, after all, you've been made a knowledge prisoner yourself, right? But you can't program me like this, and you won't. I won't let you, all right? So I'm off to see Dr. Diane, my counselor. I wouldn't mind changing my course to theater arts where Osan, my good friend, advised me to study so. And honestly, it's no doubt that my destiny can't really be found through you. Never. So, before I leave this class, please answer this question, Mr. Know-It-All. When will you come up with your own ideologies, huh?
After that response, Mr. Fisher, now you can see why your generation will produce great drawbacks in our world. Lack of respect and courtesy. The trademarks of this wasted generation of young men and women. That's none of my business. My business is to teach you what I teach you. I need to teach you, and if you can't take that or understand it, then get the hell out of here, Mr. Fisher.
When will you come up with your own ideologies, huh?
What's the matter?
Nothing, my dear.
I know all is not fine with you.
I've never been so humiliated in my life. One of the students interrupted my class and was saying insulting statements to me. He discredited my teaching competence. He even went as far as asking me, when am I going to come up with my own ideologies? I mean, it was the height. I wasn't able to accommodate. I asked him to leave the class. He aroused my interest in a rather unusual way.
I know it must be hard for you to tolerate what you're not used to, but such is life. Great men and women have had insults and disagreements, but they challenge through it. They turn the negative energies into success, baby.
You're indeed a wife to me, honey. I want to tell you, at the moment I come up with a write-up of a book, I'll be quitting my lecturing at the university. It's time for me to move on.
To where? I mean, what would you be doing next? I hope you joking. I hope it's not for real.
I know what to do. As a matter of fact, I've been giving it a lot of thought, and it's been welling up in my brain. I know my strategies know me. How can I say it? In all my years as man and wife, have you ever known me to fail?
No, honey. But what will happen?
Nothing will go wrong, my dear. Just believe in me. Things will work out for the best.
I believe in you, honey. Let's go to dinner.
You know what? That's a good idea.
I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna just bounce.
You have a mind of your own.
Well, what other choice do I have than to drop it? Professor Griffins, he's wise, he has things to say, but dude just talked too much. Plus, not to mention, I saw that a spot was open. I'm trying to register for the acting class, and then it turns out that I can't even register for it because I didn't drop the philosophy. No, I'm stuck with Professor Griffins.
The acting class was full?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was full, bruh. And then check this out, it's the best part. So I guess I'm gonna have to learn something or fake it till I make it. Learn to be profound with words, as they say, huh?
I just can't see why you can't take an easy A.
Hey. What did Adam say?
He said I try to give Griffiths another shot.
So, is that a yes or no to the study group?
He said he treats us like freshmen.
How so?
The proof of wanting us to learn.
Fisher would put that beneath him?
Why do you think that?
He is brilliant, I can't lie.
To apply guidance on correction is not being ready as a student, I'm saying.
Saying something better than the next person on the first date is, though. Do you remember what he said?
He said philosophy became my study when I decided to barb the hairs of deception and put on the cap of logic to prevent my bald hair of neutrality from the intense sun heat of global inconveniences.
I guess he's talking about his bald brain frying in the sun later. We can learn from him, even if he puts on an act. He may be talking about his fried brain later on.
You must do what is necessary. Think outside your comfort zone. Take philosophies from the different ages and the inhabited continents. Remember to do more than repeat or rephrase what others have said. You must build on and expand out. Combine different sources of knowledge to form something better. The whole should be more than the sum of its parts.
There we go. Oh, I always say I'm going to organize this. I always say it, but I never do. Lopamudra, 12th century BCE, Indian philosopher and a woman. Well, I know I have something, an Aksa Pada Gautama, here somewhere. Yes, it's here. I know. I don't have something on Vatsyayana, but I should find something. This is the person that wrote Kama Sutra. Maybe this. Here. Okay, I know I've got it. Quasi Maridu, a modern African philosopher, very important on his insights on the 3 M's: Marxism, mysticism, and metaphysics. Aha. Now, let's see. I am looking for. This is tougher yet. I know it's here. Nishiren. Aha. Yes. Yes. Here. Adriana Cavarero, modern-day Italian woman feminist, theorist. I'll see if I could arrange a meeting with her. How can I get a meeting with Dr. Samson Jacobs? This is getting heavy. I better put this down. I've done a lot of soul searching. I decided to resign.
What?
I've been teaching here for 25 years. It's been wonderful, but it's time for me to move on.
1 week into the semester? And you resign just like that?
I probably should have moved on a long time ago. No sense delaying what I have to do.
We've known each other a long time. Could you at least give me a reason? Are you all right?
I'm not sick, don't worry.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. But that doesn't mean that it's all right with you.
I don't have family problems. Sandra supports me whatever I want to do.
Retiring?
Hardly. I need to reach a goal. I can't reach it here.
So there's nothing I can say to talk you out of it.
I've made up my mind to concentrate on writing full-time.
Full-time writing? That's a big risk to throw away a good career.
Research first, then writing.
The university is a great place for research. Low risk, no financial loss.
I'll lose something more precious than money. Time.
Well, we can let you cut back on your classes.
You don't understand. I have to go all over the world. I have to see the world firsthand.
Well, how about a 6-month sabbatical?
Sabbatical? Would you approve it?
You have earned it, that's for sure. Just devote yourself to writing. It will give time to make a sure decision.
Let me reach out to the alums. Maybe I can get some financial support.
I'm an alum. I can help you out. A little.
Well, thank you very much.
I do believe Mr. Griffins picked Adam to tell him about his essay. He got a 97 on the test.
What'd you get?
I got a 92.
Sounds like you're jealous.
How did you do?
I aced it.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you notice what Adam Fisher did? That guy didn't look too happy about Professor Griffin's teaching methods. I see Griffins as a great man who's not satisfied with how things are. He didn't put too much faith in our generation.
Guys, can we get to the lesson?
I'll check on Mr. Griffins. I'll tell you when the coast is clear.
Aristotle's metaphysics puts substance first. Everything else is secondary. He rejected Plato's transcendentalism. Epistemology influenced all other philosophy.
We'll check on that.
What is it?
Study of nature, origin, and limits of human knowledge.
The theory of knowledge?
You know, Charles was just in here saying the same thing that you said, Calvin. I never experienced or heard another professor getting advice from students on how to teach.
It's not something we as freshmen would normally do. I would hope because it is so unusual, you could give what we tell you more weight.
Well, hearing from you and Charles makes me think that philosophy isn't dead in U.S. colleges.
Mr. Griffins, I just want to use this opportunity to apologize for the anomaly shown by Adam Fisher yesterday. I know the way you reacted towards him wasn't intended.
That's incredibly nice. I have forgiven Adam. Interestingly, unbeknownst to Adam, his statements have encouraged me to embark on something else I'm about to do soon.
Charles and I want you to know that we still do believe in your style of teaching. Don't be annoyed with us. I apologize on behalf of him.
The best thing that has ever happened to me as a lecturer is being around good students like you.
Griffiths is going on sabbatical immediately. He won't teach any classes this semester. I'm happy to know that things have returned to normal. I'm here to let you know that you are great in the position that you currently occupy. In fact, this thought has disturbed us since our freshman year. Right from the first day you took us on the Philosophy 101, we saw a lecturer who wasn't satisfied with what he was doing. Even though that you are proficient in the ways you are teaching us, a great number of us are very thankful for it, although despite our complaints, we saw a man who aspires to be what he really wants to be, not following the status quo. And as a friend and a fellow observer, I gave it a second thought to eventually concur. In a nutshell, we are looking forward to when you will launch to the world your school of thought.
Do you know that this is what my wife and I were discussing? What a coincidence. I think with this, it definitely tells me that we should go on with this. It may interest you to know, in all my years of lecturing at this university, exact very same thing that Adam was saying. How can I say it? Teach my own ideologies. All I wanted to do was make philosophy pay me my dues, and I paid it. Registering my name amongst those whose footprints were on philosophy is all I wanted to do. The moment this goal gets established, I will call my 20-year career with this university quits.
Do you want to leave at this time?
I'll never forget you throughout my years on Earth. You've made me proud. Will you please greet Adam for me and thank him, because his inspiration is what's making me embark on this journey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rejections is part of writing. J.K. Rowling got rejected by 12 publishers. Stephen King got almost 40 rejections before he got his first acceptance.
Charles, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm in Greece. Yasu, Kala.
Well, it's in the middle of the night there.
I have something I'd like to run by you. I'd like your opinion on.
Well, you have a philosophy question?
I would like to put a problem on a XYZ axis, like a three-dimensional vector.
You mean like the trajectory of an object?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, for a Physics 101 class, it has to do with the object's direction, velocity, and how far it has to fall. Mm-hmm. For a real-world physics problem, it has to do with those factors, wind speed, terminal velocity, friction, and a whole bunch of other factors.
Yes, the same with philosophy.
No, what I'm saying is, with a straightforward physics problem, there are many other factors to consider.
Well, philosophy is beyond weights and measures.
With philosophy, everything is unknown.
But there's right, and that way philosophy is such a mind-expanding field. We live in a three-dimensional world. Given what we see, that is, length, width, height, like vector quantities.
The gravity constant is known. The wind speed and velocity can be determined. But in philosophy, there's nothing that can be measured or weighed.
As the frontiers of knowledge and directions, empowerment, development, general ethics can be shown in three-dimensional sense, vector quantities.
Well, that's the problem.
But
it's like arguing how many teeth a donkey has instead of looking in its mouth.
Yeah, that's likely a myth. Anyway, I'll be sure to count the donkey's teeth.
Why are you asking, and what are you asking?
You got a few minutes? It's for my book.
Stop, Charles. Isn't this beautiful?
It's magnificent.
We should have come here a long time ago.
We're here now, dear. That's all that matters.
Oh my goodness, the sabbatical is the best thing that could have ever happened to us.
It's a great experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where in the world are you calling from me now?
I'm in Delhi. As in New Delhi, India.
Well, that makes sense.
I would be remiss if I didn't take a deep dive into Hindu philosophy. I got some great shots of the Akshardham temple.
Well, sure, but you didn't call me all the way from there to talk about some pictures.
Could you send me some names and numbers of some prominent teaching doctors?
You're just determined to make a connection with science.
Yes, and possibly maybe send me some prominent physicists' names and numbers as well. I'd like to add them to the book. I think it'll give the book some great standing.
Well, yeah, I can send you some names, but I don't want to be involved.
We'll be going to Beijing next. Let me know if you change your mind.
What do you expect to get there? Philosophy of Mao?
Well, the philosophy of the most populous country on the planet can't be overlooked.
Now you see, there's the difference between philosophy and science.
I don't see it.
Attention to facts and details. You're already in the most populous country. China's second.
Well, that's another reason to get physicists to sign off on the book.
An individual's approach to sex indicates their approach to life.
Managing one's sexuality is analogous to conversion of nature's energy.
Great thoughts, guys.
Lysias argued it's better to have sex with someone who does not love you than just someone that does.
Sounds like something a womanizer would say.
He explained it's better to have such a relationship with a friend.
Oh, friends with benefit? Or marrying your best friend?
Sex, sexuality, relationship, and marriage. Section 1. From a typical three-dimensional sense of the word sex, could be spelled out as simply erotic experience. Section 2. Sex, sexuality, relationship, and marriage. A man or woman who sleeps around with partners of the same and opposite sex as business associates, whose bond of mental closure will affect their fidelity to their spouses. Section 3. Sometimes the way people handle their relationships affects the way they handle their marriages. Section 4. People get married for trivial reasons, and as a result, divorce for trivial reasons. Sex, sexuality, relationship, and marriage. Section 5. Sexing different people brings a spread of physical attachment among people, which acts as a secondary influence on their state of relationships and marriages. Section 6. When a husband cheats on a woman or a wife on a man, what do you expect? A couple who will likely not stop at stepping out of their marital bounds by cheating on each other with or without the consent of other parties. Sex, sexuality, relationship, and marriage. Section 7. One's fidelity, their spouse, is determined by the number of habitual sexual relations with partners in the past. Section 8. It's one thing to get married, and it's an entirely different ballgame to stay married. Sex, sexuality, relationship, and marriage. Section 9. Managing one's sexuality is analogous to conversion of nature's energy. Chapter 1, Section 10. Despite the age we live in, women, still being treated as subordinates, whose sex lives are often depicted from one man to another, will be treated like disposable syringes, dumped and replaced like new syringes, better women.
Did you see this?
Oh, so that's what he's been doing on sabbatical?
It appears he wrote a book. Catherine told me he took Adam's words to heart.
Well, he throws him out of the class at some point, then decided Adam was right.
Neither of them were right in that situation.
Adam was abrasive.
What? Still upset about that plagiarism thing?
You had to rewrite your 101 term paper?
Yeah, I had to rewrite it, but I aced Griffin's class. Are we gonna study tonight?
I got a lot of classes to do and stuff.
Let me see that.
Gender. 1. A man will always have his will, but a woman will always have her way. But when there's a will, there is a way. Section 2. Gender. It is believed that men are small boys in big skin, or better put, men are overgrown babies. That would make women actually grown female beings whose level of reasoning is really not different from growing young females. Section 3. When a man loves a woman, she sees the man as a whole book. But as for a man, he sees her as just a chapter of a book. Section 4. They say men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Why are they on Earth? The reason is quite simple. To fulfill their purpose on Earth through gender functionality as unveiled by their peculiar qualities. Gender. Section 5. Women don't seem to understand the way they do what they do, but they expect the men to understand them. Knowing that men are logic wired, or simply put in a way, one-way thinkers, how do they expect them to comprehend their emotion wired nature? Section 6. It is said that an old man who marries a much younger woman is like one buying a book in a library only for that person to give it out for another to read. Now, what about a young man getting married to a much older woman? It's like going to the library to buy the book he had no choice but to buy because he didn't see the other books on the shelf to choose from, nor had the money to afford the one he wants to read. Gender. Section 7. A man is a male's acted name or definition of M. Males. A. Acted. N. Name. Section 8. A woman is the worth of a man's acted name of the definition of the. W for worth. O of one. M for the males. A for acted. N for name. Gender. Section 9. The use of the extremes of the masculine and feminine energies has been responsible for what our world had been, is, and will be. Chapter 2, Section 10. Understanding a man and loving a woman are the suggestions that create the right positive outflow of energies, leading to the gender functionality, which instead of gender equality.
By appreciating one's sense of originality and creativity is of higher importance of technical skill.
Learning what we must and studying what we want to know.
Someone's musty. What excludes knowledge to pinpoint further knowledge? Marcus Aurelius said the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts.
Anyone get that text message about the study party tonight?
Lifestyle. 1. Determination without conception is like reaching destination without intention. Section 2. Lifestyle. If love stands for letting offered values exist, then what values are offering to your neighbors around you or yourself? Section 3. Patience is the time frame demanded of an individual to tarry while awaiting accomplishment of the said aim, giving room for commitment, endurance, persistence, and diligence. Section 4. Perfection is the product which is formed as a result of the reaction between being perfect and the change. Responsibility under the Catalyst Act. Lifestyle. Section 5. Success. can be arbitrarily seen as investing in one's personality of impacting other people, identifying a problem or need by solving or meeting it, then leaving a certain place or condition better than the way it was met, with the individual positioned to make sacrifices. Some pay the price for such attainments. Section 6. In a similar way, failure is a term which is arbitrarily bounded by excuses, held captive by complacency, tied to procrastination, and forced to trying to please everyone. Lifestyle. Section 7. True love is choice-driven. It takes belief or faith to actually love someone, just the way he or she is, regardless whether his or her behaviors are lovable or not. Section 8. Wisdom is a statement that could be spelt as wide insight speaks defense and offers magnanimity. Lifestyle. Section 9. Money is the servant to ideas because its value can be determined through the yardstick. M is means. O is of. N is national. E is exchange for. Y is yields and ideas. Chapter 3, Section 10. It's all good, as far as you can see what's good.
Hey, yo, Benjamin. Got the food, man?
Oh, just go there and put it on the table. Thank you.
All right, Ben.
My philosophy group is coming too. I'm glad you come by.
Celebrities and entertainment. 1. Celebrities are celebrated personalities whose privacy lies at the mercy of publicity and as such termed public properties. Section 2. Celebrities and entertainment. Sadly, the term entertainment has its actuality constructed as enjoying the terminally maintained moment. Section 3. Music has an acronym which is spelt as M for melodious, U for union, S for sounds, I for inspired, and C for consonants. Section 4. Actors and actresses are the real characters in movies, soap operas, drama, books, plays, theaters is a fictional sense. Celebrities and entertainment. Section 5. Some celebrities have problems with the paparazzi. Why? Consider this old saying. He who carries from the farm ant-infested wood should not be weary when lizards come feasting on them. Similarly, a celebrity shouldn't be worried when he or she sees buzzing insects or paparazzi coming around him or her. Section 6. To me, entertainment is best appreciated at the leisure when the pressure is far less in importance than pleasure. Entertainment is the right environment which provides opportunity for leisure to be complemented by pleasure to defeat pressure. Celebrities and entertainment. Section 7. Celebrities are paid fuels used by the media to stay in the business of making the public glued to their gadgets at home, school, office, and/or any joint. Section 8. To the public, entertainment is usually fun, but an opportunity to make more fame and fortune to all celebrities, athletes, sportsmen and women, actors, actresses, and musicians. Celebrities and entertainment. Section 9. Entertainment gives us temporal excitement and attainment of utopia, but much of it pleasurably drives completely our attention from the reality of things in the world. Chapter 4, Section 10. Celebrities know the price of stardom, vulnerability to public criticism, constructive and destructive.
What's up with your book?
I was torn with a question. I got caught thinking of Adam Fisher. Griffin's School of Thought, Edge, is formed from the original dramatists.
Pythagoras, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle?
Was Adam right about what he did to Griffins?
Voicing an opinion does not make him an idealist.
Well, he expressed himself to the furthest regard dramatically. I think he was right doing so.
Fisher is not a good guy, Catherine.
Which is why I read my book. I couldn't get it out of my head. Ariel, what are you doing?
Politics, war, nations, and government. When viewing politics in its entirety, it can be said that the term could be spelt as P, propounded, O, as orientation, L, as in lording, I, as in ideologies, T, as in technically, I, as in influence, C, as in countries, and S, as in systems. Section 2, politics, war, nations, and government. War is the product of an unsettled state of being worried about revolution. Section 3, nations preach about equality. Their actions speak of it very often, as seen in the events reported by TV news or news media. Section 4, governments assures subjects of realistic implementation of plans, long and short term. It lets the people know that things are not the way they seem. Politics, war, nations, and government. Section 5. Politicians have psychologically engendered a plan to unify the course of activities through events towards an agenda, only known to accountable few. Section 6. The longevity of wars is determined by the elasticity of both opposing sides pulling the strings of victory and vanquish. One thing is for sure. The lifespan of wars is short-lived by the need for peace, while the eternal stance of the vessels of the revolutionary accomplishment remains intact. Politics, war, nations, and government. Section 7. The secret of great nations of the world is primarily one thing: money. Section 8. People under authority, or people in government, are stewards at their strategic positions of authority, answerable to the higher up of the world system, with the responsibilities assigned to them to carry out on behalf of interest of the masses. Politics, war, nations, and government. Section 9. The beauty of wars is tantamount to the ugliness of world peace. Chapter 5, Section 10. People's government exists in the minds of those who are willing to sacrifice their lives and others entirely to the altar of struggle.
I think I should still at least get partial credit.
It was a take-home test. There's no credit for following the right approach. You still need an answer.
I explained all my reason.
This isn't a philosophy class. Well, the flu for a week and this happens.
Hey, D.
Kobe!
What you got there?
Oh, it's this sudden.
Catherine told me that when the humanities dean found out that Mr. Griffins was back in town, he made the invite.
You know why?
A book tour. Are you going to the lecture?
Well, I don't know. I'd like to. I have to see how much work is stacked up since I've been gone, but go ahead. Go to the lecture, make up your own mind, and that's what education's all about, right? Maybe I'll see you there.
Learning and education. 1. Education is a viable means of defining the worth of an individual, made possible by the availability of favored conditions, mental, physical, and environmental, and made actualized by his ability to learn. Section 2. Learning and education. To learn means to let expositional acquisition reveal nobility. Section 3. Learning the right way is a choice brought about questioning to become better beings. Section 4. Schools should be platforms where individuals can favorably realize their potentials. Learning and education. Section 5. Academic pursuits can be made more fascinating when combined with what students would like to do as they pursue the society's demand. Section 6. The best way of acquiring quality education is by educating oneself. Learning and education. Section 7. We will realize that appreciating one's sense of creativity and originality is of higher importance than technical skills. Section 8. The quality of education is a measure of a society's growth, value system, and relationships with others. Learning and education. Section 9. Learning is best when it's motivated by desire to know. Chapter 6, Section 10. Education, they say, is the best legacy, but we know that anything worth learning can never be taught.
Come in. Folks.
The human mind is an outstanding quality depicted as meditating intensely and never declining.
How is it in theory that memory starts its decline at the age of 35? Forgetfulness is not a sign that the human mind is declining.
Exactly.
Well, at its potential point, the human mind's labeled as the engineered mindset. But when activated, it becomes the engineering mindset, a function between its existence and its functionality.
It seems like a distinction without a difference.
It's like a difference between potential and kinetic energy.
Adam, come in.
Life and death. 1. Life is a space. You can only truly ascertain the level you are operating through thoughts and actions. Section 2. Life and death. From the length, breadth, and height of dimensions of our world, it can be said that death marks as an end to the natural. Section 3. Life is a test, trust, and an assignment. How you pass or fail it, what you do with what you were trusted with, and how you were able to carry it out. Ascertain how you'll appreciate it. Section 4. Living life is fully encompassing. Life and death. Section 5. Death stands for denying existence, a true habitation. Section 6. Death ushers one into another wavelength of eternity. Life and death. Section 7. Life is influenced by two factors, or forces, thoughts and actions. Section 8. Death could stand for the divine exit from abode to the higher. It could also stand for the divine exit from all thoughts to the higher. Life and death, Section 9. If life is the price we pay for living, then it will be safe to say that death becomes the cost of leaving the fullness of life. Chapter 7, Section 10. The meeting point between life and death is sleep.
PhDs who had thrown themselves into a field of study often get trapped into a way of thinking. George Santayana once said, "Those who do not know history are condemned to repeat it." George Santayana's words can almost be passed off as an example of a knowledge trap passed off as wisdom, you know? It doesn't acknowledge how things changed. After all, how many rockets blew up until they started making reliable ones? Those who remember the past are imprisoned by it. A knowledge trap.
Spirit, body, and soul. 1. The human spirit is at its zenith of all mankind's innovation. Section 2. Spirit, body, and soul. The body is a commensurate of three-dimensional identity in consonance with the natural world. Section 3. The soul is the man's valuable asset. Section 4. The spiritual domain of man takes absolute control of all his physical recognition. Spirit, body, and soul. Section 5. The body is man's vehicle for actions. Section 6. The originality of man being spiritual, possessing an eternal figure, the soul, and residing in casing known as the body makes him complete Homo sapiens. Spirit, body, and soul. Section 7. The soul is the house of the mind. Section 8. The human soul is the source of unparalleled lure. Spirit, body, and soul. Section 9. The human mind has its outstanding quality depicted as meditating intensively, never declining. Chapter 8, Section 10. At its potential point, the human mind is actually deemed as a human-engineered mindset. But when activated, it becomes a human engineering mindset, the bridge between existence and functionality.
Genres, as in stories?
Stories are accounts in situations and events involving the entirety of mankind, plants and animals, living and non-existent entities, in real and fabricated or make-believe forms.
Meant to be communicated in the form of writing, oral statements, verbal expressions, signs and symbols, and other known and unknown methodologies.
The world's illumination of knowledge is a result of the source provided through the works of writers and authors, is brought about consistency, determination, sacrifice, and intelligence.
Before writing, humans existed for thousands of years. In the Stone Age.
Books make us stay afloat on the sea of challenges, makes us stand firm on the cliff of facts, smile through the tempest of uncertainty, and sail through the waters of life's issues.
Well said. Let's go somewhere with less noise.
Okay.
Books and writing. 1. Writing is a reflection of imaginations through the creation of words revealed in terms of information, notably on genres. Section 2. Books and writing. Stories are accounts of situations and events involving the entirety of mankind, plants and animals, living and non-existent entities in real, fabricated, or make-believe forms, which are meant to be communicated in form of writing oral statements, verbal, and expressions. Section 3. The world's illumination of knowledge is a tough result of a source provided through the works of authors whose torch direction is brought about by consistency, sacrifice, and intelligence. Section 4. I guess writing understandably communicates messages, thoughts, ideas, or truths in such a way that all will learn to appreciate what we would be ambiguous when communicated orally. Books and writing. Section 5. When you flip through the pages of a book, you see the power of books directing humanity towards the path of good and evil. Section 6. Our world has no doubt been illuminated through extraordinary efforts revealed by authors through their writings. The illumination that gave succor to the world in two contradicting ways: freedom and slavery. Books and writing. Section 7. How can the world do without authors who, through their writings, define change and explain dynamics of the universe, humanity, and beauty of their creator? As the sun illuminates the earth, so do authors illuminate the people's mind through their writings. Section 8. Books are akin to envelopes that seal the letters of writing to be sent to different readers. Books and writing. Section 9. Books enable us to stay afloat on the sea of challenges, make us stand firm on the cliff of facts, smile in the tempest of uncertainty as we sail through the waters of life's issues. Chapter 9, Section 10. Authoring is a magnified expression of literacy, writing whose genre reflects the target audience, the society.
You're just in philosophy. Do you always have it?
As far as I can remember, I always had an interest in it.
Strange for a little girl to have interest in philosophy.
Opposed to a little boy.
Even stranger for a little boy.
Were you a little boy philosopher?
Not at all. I didn't really think about it until high school. I don't know, I was getting C's all throughout high school until I met a group who were really interested in philosophy.
Anything specific that sparked the interest?
English class. The discussions were more about the books than the philosopher and his story himself.
That's often one and the same.
True. At least I found out that when I got in this class, I could match the smart kids.
Interest brings out talent, which brings out more interest.
It's a wonderful cycle.
Yes,
How do your parents feel about you being a philosophy major?
as long as I don't do drugs, get arrested, or pregnant, they don't care what I do.
The teenager's dream, parents.
Your parents don't approve, do they?
I got average grades throughout high school. Even in required courses, I got C's. But when I told my parents I got A's, they were happy.
Happy until you told them it was philosophy.
Exactly.
Many people only think about college as a way to make more money.
How about this? We go to dinner and we go see a movie. And I'll pay, of course.
Sure.
Griffin, to the stage.
Please hold up last slide. Thank you. The last but not the least is chapter 10. This chapter is quite different from any other one. Here we go. The philosophy and science behind the idea, knowledge, relationship. Ideas rule the world. The question goes thus: what is the proof of this fact? This is the reason for this topic. Ideas are information defined by envisaged aspirations via statements. Ideas are analogous vector forces whose magnitude and direction have to be resolved to get a resultant force knowledge. Ideas are in-depth derivations envisaged by aspirations via statements. Let us say that ideas are the vector forces. The resolution of ideas makes them keenly noted and organized worth. Locating empowerment, development, and general ethics knowledge. The resolution of ideas in agreement with the Earth's three-dimensional axis, which are empowerment, development, and general ethics. The diagram below explains the relationship better. Empowerment is the y-axis. W represents the world, which is keenly noted and an organized worth. The focus of ideas control the world knowledge, the resultant of product of the resolution of. Ideas can be defined as the K for keenly, N for noted, O for organized, W is for worth, L for locating, E for empowerment, D for development, G for general, E for ethics. Here, ideas are collectively resolved to the various axes they best fit into. For instance, ideas that are, by a nature, empowerment based are collectively located at the empowerment axis. The same applies to others. The term science acronym, S for systematically, C for creating, I for ideologies, E for expatiating, N for notions, C for concerning, E for the entities or is the systematic creation of ideologies, expatiating notions concerning entities. Science is an organized body of knowledge which deals with observation and testing of facts. The relationship between the acronym and generally accepted definition of science is expressed as thus. The systematic creation of ideologies is a statement of an organized body of knowledge. Expatiating notions concerning entities is a statement of observing and testing of facts. Note, The X, Y, and Z axis are arbitrary representations of the physical Earth's three dimensions: empowerment, development, and general ethics axis were respectively positioned at X, Y, and Z axis because of the alphabetic order of acronym, rendering to the spelling of knowledge. Empowerment comes first, then development, and finally general ethics, respectively. Thanks for availing your time. For over a decade, it had been my burning desire in me to be in a league of the great philosophy scholars like Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, Hippocrates, and others. Their school of thought inspired me to know them and reading their works avidly. I look forward to when I will be in the same shoes as they are on the pages of history. Thank you for your time. With your support and encouragement, we can make this vision a reality. For the sake of mainstream importance, I have titled this manuscript, One Man's Deep Words. But to philosophers all over the world, which includes philosophy students, lecturers, philosophy, and the world of philosophy in general, I titled it Griffin's School of Thought. It's interesting to know that this workplace allows for subsequent additions and active involvements of interested scholars to co-write. Also, your arguments, though must be expressed in constructively logical sense, are all welcome. As I look forward to your support and encouragement, I would like to say once again a big thank you to all that attended this great event. Before I take my seat, I leave you with this statement you are familiar with. In the pursuit of life, peace, and liberty, we stand, and in God we trust. I appreciate your coming to this event. Thank you.
Yo, is that Adam Fisher? Yeah, I think it's best you go.
Hey, whoa. You're an actor, bro.
Hey. Come on, man. I don't want to mess up your face.
Did I say guess? Yes, none other than his own very self. I guess y'all waiting to hear his name. Well, let the man announce himself. So, sir, we would like to know you.
Well, top of the day, listeners. Hello, folks. I'm Dr. Charles Griffins. But for simplicity, I prefer being called Mr. Griffins. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Griffins. Now, Mr. Griffins, we would like to know you more up close and personal.
Immediately after my first degree, I married my childhood sweetheart of over 30 years, Sandra. I was later employed by the university to lecture on philosophy, which I did before I retired. Presently, I live in Baltimore with my wife. I have 2 grown sons who are also married with kids.
Well, that's family. Mr. Griffins, permit me to ask you this question. How did you become the figure you are today?
Paraphrasing the words of the icon Nelson Mandela, popularly known as Mandela, it has been a long walk to freedom. It has been topsy-turvy for me, though. But with the encouragement of my wife, my students, and friends, now founders of the Charles and Kelvin Foundation, based in Maine, USA, and more importantly, a former student of mine by the name of Adam Fisher, helped me be who I am today.
I'm particularly interested in the involvement of Adam Fisher as a part of your success.
This happened about 4 years ago when I was lecturing at the University of Maryland. I was lecturing a certain course in philosophy known as Where Physics Meets Metaphysics. I came in my, as usual, teaching style form for the first time in my career as a lecturer. A student interrupted my class and asked me a question that sparked my innate desire. Mr. Know-It-All, when will you come up with your own ideologies? To be frank, I have always desired to be in the league of great scholars, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, and the rest of them. However, the academic world wants you to follow the tradition of teaching students the way they must be taught. In all sincerity, that didn't go well with me. Nonetheless, I had no choice but to do what was required of me, but craved for the moment when I will go on to become who I really wanted to be. In a rather unexpected situation, Adam coming into the picture, the change in what I long craved for came. The beginning of a new event in my life was marked. The rest of the story is what you heard.
Sir, we have it on good grounds that you established your own school of thought as Griffin's School of Thought. I want you to tell the listeners what it's all about in brief.
We at Griffin's School of Thought, which at Periphery is aimed at making followers out of doubters. While our leaders poised to meeting the needs of the people, introduction of thoughts, changing patterns to better the lives of the will of the people, of the world, living the life they desire through informed thought process. In the future, we intend extending throughout the world of North America. At first, when my wife and I started the Griffin School of Thought, sometimes called GSOT, we had only 10 members. 4 years after its establishment, the followership strength has risen to about 9,000.
That's great.
Remember, it took me over the course of 7 years to completely write them. First, the success of the international conference that brought the commendation and support from the various countries I traveled to preach this good news. I saw a need to teach my eager to learn the followers through the use of books personally written by me. Mind you, they are learned men and women drawn from all the walks of life, but believe in the potency of GSOT and has its foundation on the one man's deep sayings material. An overview of Angiosophy. It is aimed at integrating all fields of human endeavor, presently known and the ones yet to come, into an entity, because all fields recognized by humanity are born out of creative wisdom and continually modify them. This is the phase of true modernization. Angiosophy, akin to an offspring from a black mother and white father, is a product of the coming together of unusually defined but rightly expressed engineering and philosophy. Angiosophy is brought about by fusion of engineering and philosophy, i.e. Engi, as in engineering. There is an O for orchestrated in between the prior and the Sophie, and is philosophy, equals Angiosophy. In other words, translated as creative wisdom. The unusually defined but rightly expressed Angi, as in engineering, means creative. On the other hand, the unusually defined but rightly expressed Sophie, as in philosophy, means wisdom, coming from the Greek word Sophia. Angiosophy is aimed at engendering thought, changing breakthroughs in the lives of people in terms of approach in dealing with one another and approach to issues. At tertiary levels, it will academically unify all courses of one entity. The beyond physics analogy of Newton's laws of motion. It explains beyond the physics dimensions of already understood Newtonian laws of motion. Explains how it has affected humanity in the areas of age-to-age thought, developments, and religious affairs and prayers. Who is man? Is this a definitive discourse that builds on simply who he is? Man is a spirit he lives a body and he has a soul. M-Law, man, land, air, water. In other words, the M-Law link can be interpreted as the man, land, air, water link. The Code 13 Principles, as published by the International Journal of Sexology. It brings to the audience a mechanism known as the classic computation. For more information, go to www.griffinschoolofthought.com.
In one sentence, what is your advice to listeners out there who want to be like you?
All you need to get is what you want, and then build on what you've started. Above all, exercise patience.
There you have it. All you need is to get what you want and build on what you've already started. Above all, exercise patience. The words of Dr. Charles Griffiths, author of the best-selling book One Man's Deep Words, former philosophy lecturer at University of Maryland, and founder of Griffin School of Thought. For more information about his works, please visit griffinschoolofthought.com. It's been a pleasure talking with you, Mr. Griffiths.
Same here. Thank you, sir, for having me.
We've come to the end of this program. Till I come your way same time next week on the same station, have yourself a good day. Bye.
Hello?
Hey Charles, Samson here.
Yes, what do I owe the pleasure?
One Man's Deep Words sold over 1 million copies.
I'm aware, that's great news.
It gets better. They're going to publish it in 8 other languages.
Which language?
French, German, Chinese, Russian, and Swahili.
I'm humbled.
How's that revision you were talking about?
It's going well. I'm going to co-author it with Professor Robin Hooke, Professor Isaac Norton, Dr. Linda Hart, and Professor Ayman Salim.
I would caution about too many cooks.
They're all experts in the field, I assure you.
Sounds interesting.
We may also add chapters that focus on other areas in later editions.
Any interviews coming up?
Yes, well, Evergreen Publishing House set me up with one for every major newspaper for marketing.
That's outstanding.
The New York Days, Washington Forum, Seattle Days, the Chicago Colleague, all have one deep question towards the end of the interview.
That's not bad. You make something of yourself, Charles. You need their questions yet?
They're all abstract, to say the least. They want me to leave a piece of literature there for them.
Any plans of returning to the school for stable income?
With the edit on this book, my follow-up in the works, and all my old students nearly graduating, I don't really have a reason to be there.
Most would be good in a lesson plan because of shortcomings.
So, ontological arguments.
Usually used in relation to the existence of God.
I think, therefore I am. I think of something, and therefore it exists.
It's a nice turn of a phrase.
Something conceivable must exist. This is the fallacy of.
Equivocation.
A word or phrase is used with two different meanings in the same argument.
Usually leading to confusion or a misleading conclusion. Right out of the book.
Who objected to the ontological argument?
Kant. Did Mr. Griffin give you any idea of the subjects he was planning on doing?
Yes, and even more than that, he hopes to link philosophy with the other sciences like physics.
You mean the same level as the STEM subjects?
Yes.
Seems far-fetched.
Science, technology, engineering, that does, but shouldn't. Physics, chemistry, astronomy, and other pure sciences.
Existence isn't a property that makes up a subject. Existence is a preconditioned scenario that makes up a subject into reality of many properties.
His argument.
So you're asking me to nominate Griffiths for the Nobel Peace Prize in Physics? No. No, sir, yes. The answer's still no. I'm insulted you even asked me or any other physicist.
After everything he's done for this university, all of his classes end up with half a dozen students. That's none of your business.
Well, who would you want me to nominate next year? An astrologer or a numerologist?
All I want is for you to give this university a little bit of prestige.
You're asking me to make a mockery of myself and my field.
This is your one chance. You're either going to do it or I'm going to find someone that will.
I'm not going to be a part of it.
Griffin's work is just as important to humanity as continuous phase transitions, as the development of stars, of subatomic particles.
You're not going to change my answer by belittling physics.
Why do you always get into these ridiculous arguments?
You know, his pompous attitude annoys me. Let me ask you this. Will I be nominated next year, sir?
Well, that's none of your business.
Yes, this time a philosophical question. How many things that are none of your business annoy you?
That's not a philosophical question.
That's a question you just dodged.
Touché.
Griffin's shameless shilling for the Nobel Prize and the Physics Prize.
Yeah, something scientists don't do.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to get somebody else. I'm not going to put my reputation on the line for Griffiths.
You just did.
Well, that's not fair. He's not even an equivalent. He's not even a professor here. No.
Are you ready, dear?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Even in hard science fields, scientists are hard to convince anyone they're wrong. Even then, they just might change the laws to make it seem they weren't wrong. Newtonian physics is different from modern physics. Close, but a miss is a miss. Kant, Critique of Pure Reason, Metaphysics of Morals. Were Kant's philosophy given credence because he was an intelligent man? Were the ancient Greek philosophers revered as philosophers because they were the ones who wrote about it? A lot of times people swear something is right when there's only one source, and that source is a book written by someone that they do not know. Often people cite 3 different sources when the 3 different sources got their information from the same source. How many movies have gotten Oscars when markedly superior movies that same year got snubbed? Could great philosophy just be who turns the best phrase? Aristotle believed everything had a purpose, and everything must grow to achieve that purpose. It sounds great, but that's an assumption, not something entirely proven. An appendix has no purpose. I shouldn't have sounded off like that in Griffin's class. I should have just dropped it, to be honest. Griffin's was enough about it afterwards, but still, outbursts like that serve no useful purpose. A controlled temper is best.